Hi guys! Thank you for coming back for episode 2 of the Fiberstash Dye Works podcast. My name is Christy Carr and I'm the owner of Fiberstash Dye Works. We're just a small company. I say we, but it's really just me. My husband does the heavy lifting at shows and my kids sometimes get in the way. But you can find me at Fiberstash on Instagram, Yarn Girl VT on Ravelry, fiberstashvt.com is our website, and on Facebook it's facebook.com/fiberstash. Today is Thursday, October 27th, and we'll jump right in with current events. Next weekend is November 5th and 6th, and that's the Fiber Festival of New England. We will be vending there. We'll have a booth there. I can't believe it's November already. That's crazy. I'm wearing my hat. You can see it's cold in here. We try not to turn the heat on, and I'm in my office, which doesn't have a whole lot of heat. So it's a little cold in here, so I put my hat on. This hat is Cobblestones pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. You probably see me wear it at the shows, or have it on display if it's too hot to wear, but it's the Green Mountain colorway, and it's a pretty popular colorway. Sorry, my show notes are on my phone, and my phone keeps turning off. My little button here was made by Katie at Katrinkles, and she hand makes all these little bamboo buttons, and they're washable, and they have all kinds of little things on there. So check out Katrinkles if you like buttons. Who doesn't? So the biggie is next weekend, or the Fiber Festival of New England is next weekend at the Biggie in West Springfield, Massachusetts. Saturday it's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sunday it's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I just found out that that weekend is also daylight savings time. So make sure that if you're coming on Sunday, you remember to set your clocks back on Saturday night. So that also happens to be the weekend that my brother decided to get married. I think I mentioned that last show. My friend Jen, who is at Storm Coast on Instagram, she has a podcast on YouTube called The Uncreative Crafter. She has graciously agreed to run my booth for me on Saturday because Matt and I can go to the wedding. We will be back on Sunday, so if you're around on Saturday, stop by, say hi to Jen, give her some love, thank her for running my booth for me, and Sunday we'll be around, so you guys can stop in and say hi. Hopefully some of you guys will be around. Sorry if we miss you, some of you Saturday goers. So that's all that we really have. That's our last festival for the year. And then we'll start back up in January. So, new colorways. That was my next topic. So, I have a few different colorways that are Doctor Who inspired. Kind of a geek. So these are a little tangled. They're not reskeined yet. As you can see, we're still drying stuff. And the show's next weekend. This is how it goes. So I have been working on blue, just trying to get a good TARDIS blue. And it has taken me a lot of tries. But I finally got this really nice blue. It's nighttime too. I hope that you guys can see this. But it is such a gorgeous blue. It's delicious, I think. So that is in my Strong Toes base. I think I actually put it in all my bases, but I didn't grab a worsted. But here, this is why I reskein, guys, because it doesn't look great when it comes out of the dye pot. Let's see. Alright, this one, whoops, got tangled around my handle here. Alright. Here it is on the Twinkle base, which is very sparkly. It's just really nice, deep blue. Another new colorway. I don't know what I'm going to call this one yet, but it's just this really deep purpley burgundy. It's not really red, but it's definitely like a red purple. And I really thought that that would go with some of my other colors. I try to create semi-solids or solids that go with some of my variegated so that you guys have a lot to choose from when you go to make a shawl. So a lot of shawls will take two colors, like one that's super variegated and one that is a solid or a semi-solid, to try to match them together and create your striping or whatever. So I try to create solids or semi-solids that'll go with some of my other colors. So this semi-solid, or this speckled, doesn't go with either of the two I just showed you, but well, I guess it might. This is Toil and Trouble. We sold out of this my first two shows this fall, so I'm bringing it back for the show, the Fiber Festival of New England, and then I probably won't dye this until next fall. I think it's going to be one of my fall colors, but it's got splatters of black and orange, tiny bit of pink, grays, kind of speckles through there. So, and actually, I didn't do it on purpose, but those kind of look amazing together. Look at that. So there's that. I had a lot of requests this fall when I put out the sock blanks for singles. I knit my socks 2 at a time, so I only dyed double-stranded sock blanks because that's what I use. But I didn't realize so many people knit their socks 1 at a time or use sock blanks to knit shawls. So I dyed single sock blanks, which you can see behind me. They're drying. They will be there the next show. This one goes from black. I'm just going to take it down. I tried to make some that were like transitional. So this one goes from like a hot pink to black, and then all the colors that are in between. This is pretty much dry. It can come down. And then, so I thought that would make a cool shawl. So the one goes from a silvery gray down to a lavender. I don't know that you can see it with the camera, but it is kind of lavender silver there in the middle. That would make a great shawl too. And then there's this one, should make a great pair of socks because it's done the same technique throughout. And there's lots of speckles and blues and purples and turquoise and teals, which is really cool. There's this star one. That one's pretty cool. This one here is very fall-like. It's got all these leaves, and it's got burgundies and browns and oranges and reds, little splashes of green in there. Kind of want this one for myself, so. I mean, I hope some lucky person gets it, but kind of hoping to steal it for myself. I did a rainbow one here, and then this one is light, very light turquoise, and it kind of goes to like a darker turquoise here, and the other side, there's actually two, goes all the way to navy, which is kind of cool. So, so if you asked for single sock blanks, I listened and I dyed up a whole bunch. So I hope you come and check them out. And that is all I had for new colorways. I think I have a few more that I haven't shown on here yet, but come down to the festival, you can see all of the colorways I have in stock. On the needles, I don't have much. There's a lot of people at work that are procreating, so there's a lot. My go-to for when I need an emergency blanket is just a giant granny square. I go, probably 40, 45 inches if I can. Try to get it as big as I can. So that's pretty much all I'm doing is crocheting large granny squares. That's it. Off the needles, I finished that blanket. All right. Finished. I have a ton of ends to tuck in, but I consider it finished. It's got a border on it. Isn't that cute? A little tiny border. Chevrons. I'm not a huge fan of gray, so this was really tough for me to knit just gray. But I love the way it looks when it came out. So he's so tiny that they can't find hats to fit his little tiny head. So I made this itty bitty tiny baby hat. It is so tiny. And then I made a little bit bigger one because babies' heads grow pretty fast. So he's a preemie now, but he'll be a little bit bigger probably by the end of winter. And we're in Vermont, so it's pretty cold until through April. Usually it stays kind of chilly, especially at night. So I figured 2 hats was better than 1. When is 2 hats never better than 1, right? I don't know. Okay. So that was all I finished. Been doing show prep, and all of these have to be, not the sock blanks, but all the yarn back there has to be reskeined, labeled, and tagged all before next weekend. And we're going camping this weekend. We have to we have to go down and hopefully help out, finish up, cleaning up an area for people to park. I think I mentioned it before, but my family has 40 acres down in Grafton, Vermont, and it used to be a junkyard. My grandfather turned it into a junkyard. We're cleaning it up, and we have one area that is pretty clean, but we want to go through the York rake and just get as much of the big pieces up as we can so that next weekend people have a place to park. The other thing we have to do is close up the camper. We have to blow out the lines and put antifreeze in there and dryer sheets to keep the mice away and mothballs and all that good stuff. So I haven't really done a whole lot of knitting. Mandy did though. Mandy of the Mandy Pinecone Crafts podcast. I hope I got that right. She lives in Burlington, which is just south of us, and she offered to knit me some samples because if you've ever been to my booth, it is super full of yarn and fiber, and there are very few samples because I don't have time to knit. So she knit me this little baby dress here, and this is from the Bigger on the Inside colorway. And so if you get bigger on the inside and TARDIS blue, make a great shawl. Just throwing that out there. And then she made these cute little toys. I think this one is out of the worsted base, and it's Ice Princess, Ice Queen. This one is Purple Butterfly, and that was also worsted. And isn't he adorable? Oh, it's kind of dark. Yeah. There. So you can see those guys in my booth, and she cast off on another one. I'm like, holy cow. I'm gonna have some samples in my booth in the next festival. So that was it. Check me out on Instagram. I usually post a lot of photos on there. Not too many, because I don't want to get annoying. I don't want to be like one of those people that you're like, oh, they post too many pictures. I can't follow them anymore. Anyway, follow me on Instagram at Fiberstash. And you'll see some really cool pictures of me dyeing and festivals and what the booth looks like, and just sometimes some chickens. My brother and his soon-to-be wife, they have about 20 chickens, and they're kind of cool. So I take photos and sometimes post them. So if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer on the podcast, feel free to ask them in the thread on Ravelry. Yeah, I'm on Ravelry. I do have a group on Ravelry. Just search for Fiber Stash and you should find it. And join the group. You can comment there. You can comment on the YouTube page. Send me a shout. Let me know if you like it or you hate it. And if you have questions that you'd like me to answer, ask them there. That's it for now. Hope to see you guys at the Fiber Festival of New England next weekend. And if not, we'll pick back up in January. Bye-bye.